Dear students, today we will be discussing about models of teaching, concept, components and families. Introduction. The core of the process of teaching is the arrangement of environments within which the students can interact. Teaching is a social process which aims at maximizing learning. But teaching and learning is not related to each other in a bipolar manner. It means where there is teaching, there is learning. But where there is learning, it is not necessary that it is the result of teaching. The learning may be due to some other factor. This is the reason that learning theories have been proved unsuccessful in solving teaching problems. Teaching theories are needed all the time to solve teaching problems. Teaching models cannot be a substitute of teaching theory, but they can work as a hypothesis for propounding teaching theories in future. A model of teaching is a plan or pattern that can be used to design face-to-face teaching in classrooms or tutorial settings and to shape instructional materials. They guide the teacher to design instruction to help students achieve various objectives. Teaching models are the basis and the first step for the indoctrination of the theory of teaching. In every model, such situations are created in which there are interaction of pupils, causing the achievement of the objective by bringing about changes in the behavior. Students learn by interacting with those environments and they study how to learn. Models of teaching enable the students to engage in robust cognitive and social tasks and teach the students how to use them productively. Hence, they are specific instructional plans designed according to the concerned learning theories. It thus provides a comprehensive blueprint for curriculum to design instructional materials, planning lessons, teacher-pupil roles, supporting aids, and so forth. Now coming to definitions of a teaching model. B.R. Joyce says, teaching models are just instructional designs. They describe the process of specifying and producing particular environmental situations that cause students to interact in such a way that those specific changes occur in their behavior. Paul says, models are prescriptive teaching strategies designed to accomplish particular instructional goals. Jangiran Ajit Singh says, a model of teaching is a set of interrelated components arranged in a sequence which provides guidelines to realize specific goals. It helps in designing instructional and environmental facilities, carrying out of these activities and realization of the stipulated objectives. Now, coming to the concept of the models of teaching. Models are, in general, miniature representatives that summarize data or phenomenon and thus act as an aid to comprehension. They are like reproductions of reality. They are an analytical approach to a meaning that reduces the complexity of direct experience to a more limited scope of human comprehension. Models of teaching are, in fact, models of learning. As teachers help students to acquire information, ideas, skills, values, ways of thinking, and means of expressing themselves, They also teach them how to learn. They are prescriptive teaching strategies designed to accomplish particular teaching goals. When a teacher identifies a goal, selects one particular strategy designed to attain that goal, we can say that he is using a model approach. Simply put, models deal with the ways in which learning environments and instructional experiences can be constructed, sequenced, or delivered. They may provide theoretical or instructional frameworks, patterns, or examples for any number of educational components, curricula, teaching techniques, instructional groupings, classroom management plans, content development, sequencing, delivery, the development of support materials, presentation methods, etc. We have to now learn about the purpose of teaching models. Teaching models serve the following purposes. It helps a teacher to develop his capacity to teach and create conducive and appropriate environment learning. It can present a real and practical outline of teaching and thus give a practical shape to learning situations. To select suitable stimulus so that the students may respond in desired manner. To specify teaching strategies to achieve desirable educational objectives by analyzing the interaction in the classroom situations. It helps to modify or redesign existing methods and instructional delivery of the emerging or altered instructional techniques and may meet the needs of today's students. To help to modify the teaching strategies and tactics if expected changes in the behavior do not occur. It helps to formulate a theory of teaching, to help gain needed insights into why some methods work with some learners while others do not. Now coming to the fundamental elements of a teaching model. The fundamental elements of a model of teaching are as follows. Number 1. Focus or orientation. Number 2. Syntax. Number 3. The social system. Number 4. Principles of reaction. Number 5. The support system. Number 6. Application of the model. And last, instructional and nurturant effects. Now let's discuss these elements in detail one by one. Taking up focus or orientation. Focus describes the goals and objectives of the model, the theoretical assumptions, the principles, and major concepts underlying the model. It is the central theme of what we want to achieve after the completion of the teaching and to achieve the terminal behavior. It gives descriptions of the environment also. Now coming to syntax. The syntax describes the model in action. It is described in terms of sequences of activities called phases. Each phase has a distinct flow of phases. It indicates the shape of the activities that specify educational aspects of teaching. The syntax helps the teacher how to begin and proceed further. In this element, teaching strategies and techniques are selected and their sequence is determined in such a way that suitable learning situations may be created and objectives are achieved. The third one, the social system. This aspect describes the teacher and the students' roles and their interrelationship within the classroom and outside it. The leadership roles of the teacher vary greatly from one model to another. The teacher may be a reflector or a facilitator of group activity in some models, or a counselor of individual or a taskmaster in other models. In some models, the teacher is a center of activity or passive organizer and pacer of the situation, or the student can be at the center. Number 4, principles of reaction. It tells us about the nature of interaction between the teacher and the learner. It tells us how to regard the learner and how to respond to what the learner does. The teacher shapes the behavior of the students by providing stimuli and tunes into the students, resulting in appropriate responses to what the students does. Number 5, the support system. This component is used to describe the supporting conditions necessary to attain the goal of the teaching model. It describes the additional equipment beyond the usual human skills, capacities, and technical facilities. For example, books, films, self-instructional systems, travel arrangements, etc. Number 6, application of the model. Application is very important in every teaching model. It describes the application aspects of the model. Some models are developed for specific purposes, whereas some may have wider general applications. It may help the learner to apply the learned things in other situations. Number 7, instructional and nurturant effects. The description of the effects of models can validly be categorized as the direct or instructional effects and the indirect as nurturant effects. The instructional effects are those directly achieved by leading the learner in certain directions. The nurturing effects come from experiencing the environment created by the model. For instance, a model that emphasizes on academic discipline can also emphasize obedience to authority. Now, classification or the families of the models of teaching. Joyce, Weil and Showers in 1992 found that models of teaching are in abundance. Educationists, psychologists, sociologists, system analysts, psychiatrists, and many others have developed them. Models of teaching range from simple, direct procedures that enable to get immediate results to complex strategies that students acquire gradually with patience and skillful instructions. Joyce and Weil in 1980 selected models of teaching from an enormous list of models. In their views, they constitute a basic educational repertoire which helps in accomplishing most goals of learning. They have been grouped into 4 families that represent distinct orientations towards people and how they learn. The 4 families are as follows. Number 1, information processing models. Number 2, personal models. Number 3, social interaction models. And number 4, behavior model. Let's now study them one by one. Taking up information processing models. This has been defined as the ways and approaches that people handle stimuli from the environment, organize data, sense problems, generate concepts and solutions to problems, and employ verbal and non-verbal symbols. It helps the students learn how to construct knowledge. As the categorical title obviously implies, models confined in this category deal with intellectual development, powers of reasoning and logic, aiding students in organizing and retaining information, and in enhancing their metacognitive functions. Primary examples designated in this area are David Ausubel's Advanced Organizers or Jerome Bruner's Concept Attainment. Number 2, personal models. This model focuses on the personal development of the individuals and helps them to develop positive relationships with the environment. They are concerned with human feelings and emotions. This group of approaches acknowledges the uniqueness of each learner. Methods in this category foster the importance of individuals in creating, directing, and structuring personal meaning. Also, models in this area are often targeted to foster things like self-esteem, self-efficacy, emotional and personal understanding, and acceptance. Carl Roser's non-directive teaching model and self-actualization by Abraham Maslow would be a good example for this group. The third one, that is social interaction models. The models in this family capitalize on our nature as social creatures to further learning and to expand our ability to relate productively to one another. When we work together, we generate collective energy that we call synergy. The social models of teaching are constructed to take advantage of this phenomenon by building learning communities. Essentially, classroom management is a matter of developing cooperative relationships in the classroom. This group of methods aims at building learning communities and purports to develop productive ways of interacting in a democratic setting. These models also emphasize that human learning occurs in social setting and through modeled behaviors and social exchanges. It helps students learn how to sharpen their own cognitions through interactions with others. The Scaffold's role-playing model is one of the more popular models in this group. Donald Oliver's The Jurisprudence model also exemplifies a form of social learning. The fourth group, that's the behavior models. The models in this family are used in a wide variety of applications, from teaching informations, concepts and skills, increasing comfort and relaxation, and decreasing phobias, changing habits and learning to control one's behavior. These models concentrate on observable behavior and clearly defined tasks and on communicating progress to the students. Behavioral techniques are amenable to highly structured outcomes that concentrate on observable objectives such as learning to read, physical skills, behavioral and emotional adaptations, and restructuring. These models are highly structured with finite goals towards specific predetermined ends. B.F. Skinner is one of the more well-known developers of behavioral techniques like his operant conditioning. Anxiety reduction by David Rinn, Joseph Volpes and John Masters is another example. Now, coming to the importance of teaching models. Teaching models have many advantages. It can be used for specific objectives such as they help the teacher to select appropriate teaching techniques, strategies, and methods for the effective utilization of the teaching situations and material for realizing objectives. They help in bringing about desirable changes in the behavior of the learners. They help the teacher in creating favorable situations for carrying teaching process. Teaching model helps in achieving some specific objectives. They help in the curriculum or contents of a course. They stimulate the development of new educational innovations. These models help to establish teaching and learning relationships empirically. Now, coming to the conclusion of our topic, models are prescriptive teaching strategies designed to accomplish particular instructional goals. Though the development of teaching models is still in its infancy stage, a lot is needed to work in this direction. A teacher must develop his own teaching model to help him to organize effective teaching and to bring out the best in his teaching. Teaching models are the paradigms or hypotheses of teaching and help to formulate theories of teaching. It may also be useful in developing social efficiency, personal abilities, and behavioral aspects of the students, thus improving human relation and raising the standard of education. Thus, models of teaching are very effective teaching strategies which are meant for transacting specific topic to the students. The nature of the topic, presentation method, and classroom environment will direct the teacher to select a particular model for teaching the concerned topic. Hence, they can implement the models of teaching in their professional life and make wonders in their classroom interactions. Thank you.